Hi, we're the Woodhaven Warriors girls soccer team.
And this is state champs.
State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to doughrazor.com for details. The Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played. Log on to DetroitSports.org. Our friends with the UAW and Chrysler. Pirani's Hockey and Lacrosse World. Over 20 Michigan locations. Go to lacrosseworld.com for info.
One of the best times of the year here in the state of Michigan. Red Wings were in the playoffs. Tigers baseball off to a great start. But most importantly, we are all finally back outside enjoying the sunshine. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to State Champs. I'm your host, Lauren Plant. Stephanie Funkhauser will be along with a story of a successful return to play following an ACL injury. In females specifically, ACL injuries are becoming more and more commonplace. We'll explain. We also debut 2 new Player of the Year races this week. Sean Malaysian will be along with our Pirani's High School Lacrosse Player of the Year race, but that's not all. Tom Markowski's back joining me as we debut our UAW Chrysler High School Softball Player of the Year race. All that and more, but let's start with the roundup.
We begin with boys lacrosse, KLAA Kensington Conference matchup, Northville on the road to take on Plymouth. Northville in orange coming into the contest at 3-3, jumped out to start the contest. Alec Malucci putting it home. Mustangs led 7-1 after the first half. Plymouth looking to win their 3rd game of the season. They responded with 2 quick goals to start the second half. The senior Kyle Robertson gets back up, then bounces it on in. Wildcats now down 7-3. That's as close as they got. Northville started to pull away. The junior Josh Bentley finding the back of the net. Later in the contest, it's Malucci once again coming around the back of the net and firing it home. Northville goes on to win 14-5 the final. Mustangs go to 4-3 on the season.
Play hard, work hard, communicate, do things you're supposed to do and come on with a win, all right? Let's go.
Let's go to girls lacrosse now. South Lyon United at home to take on Novi in a KLAA Kensington Conference tussle. South Lyon United coming in at 4-1. In the first half, Natalie Williams fires it home, United up 2-1. Novi off to a quick 5-0 start to the season. Minutes later, patient Alana Clark feeding to the junior Gina Salemi, who buries it. Wildcats trail 4-3 at halftime. Novi found itself down 3 in the second half, came all the way back. The senior Morgan Statesney firing in. The ball just trickles over the line. Wildcats leading now 10-9. But here comes South Lyon United off the whistle. Hannah Burchick to Williams. It's in the strings. We were tied at 10 as we headed into overtime. United would prevail in the extra session. Williams coming through once again. South Lyon United hangs on to beat Novi 11-10. How about boys golf now? Cattails Golf Course in South Lyon for a tri-meet. Detroit Catholic Central, Macomb Lutheran North, and Dearborn Divine Child getting together. We begin with the Catholic Central senior TJ Liberati draining the par putt here on 5. Next, to the reigning Division III individual state champ, Scott Sparks representing Macomb Lutheran North. The junior gets a putt to go down for par on 3. And now to Brett Bowes from Divine Child, the Wayne State commit for par on 6. The Falcons went on to win the tri-meet. We head down south for some girls soccer in the Downriver League. Pair of rivals going at it. Woodhaven taking on the Trojans from Trenton.
Trojans on 3! 1, 2, 3, Trojans!
The 6-time Downriver League champs Woodhaven looking to remain perfect on the season at 5-0. Pick it up late in the first half. Good opportunity here for the Warriors, but the sophomore Caitlin Varney shot just goes wide. We were scoreless at the break. But Woodhaven would crack the scoreboard seal midway through the second half. Ball comes back out to Jenna Drum,
and the junior pooches it over and into the open net. That put the Warriors up 1-0. Trenton with the chance to even it up late, but Warriors sophomore goalkeeper Kirsten Williams will swallow up the ball, ending the Trojans' comeback chances. Woodhaven hangs on to beat Trenton 1-0 the final. Warriors perfect at 5-0.
We finish up in the southwest part of the state. Kalamazoo Hackett colliding with Matawan in girls soccer. Didn't take long before we saw our first score. Matawan's Catherine Nutter steals the ball, avoids the keeper, scores just 15 seconds into the contest. Wildcats on the board. Several minutes later, Chloe Welsh with possession. The junior centers, ball knocked in the air. Mackenzie Swinehart battles, puts it into the back of the net. 2-0 Matawan. More from the Wildcat offense. Swinehart taking a shot on goal. No. Long rebound collected by Evan Van Dyke. She makes a nifty move and scores. Matawan now with a 3-goal lead. Wildcats looked in mid-season form, scoring in a variety of ways. Alex French with the set piece. Keeper can't corral it. Nutter is there for her second goal. Matawan rolls to victory 6-0 over Kalamazoo Hackett.
Absolutely huge week on the basketball recruiting front. I'm Kyle Bogenschutz of Scout.com with this week's Recruit Report. And we begin with the biggest news of all. Michigan State reeling in a huge fish in this 2015 class in Fort Wayne Homestead big man Caleb Swanigan. A 6'8", 260-pound center. He's a young man who's going to make an instant impact up in East Lansing. You add him to a class of Deontay Davis, Mr. Basketball here in the state of Michigan, #1 shooter in the country out of Texas, Matt McQuaid, Kyle Ahrens, a young sharpshooter, good defensive player out of the state of Ohio, and then you get Aaron Harris, who has 2 more years left after transferring over from West Virginia. You get all those freshmen and all those new players and some veterans. It's a really good mix for Tom Izzo. I talked to Swanigan a year ago, and I asked him, who's recruiting you the hardest? And he said, Tom Izzo is everywhere. And if I remember back to the recruitment of Gary Harris, of course, former Michigan State player, now in the NBA, his dad told me the exact same thing. So huge coup for the Michigan State Spartans. One other in-state big, of course, John Glenn, big man Mike Edwards. He's a 6'10 kid who can do a lot of different things, picked up a ton of offers after his season ended after a big senior year. He commits to Georgia, so nice get there. Again, Georgia coming in 2 years in a row and getting a sleeper out of the state of Michigan. With this week's Recruit Report, I'm Kyle Bogenschutz.
Hey State Champs Nation, coming up after the break, we go in focus this week on the increasing amount of ACL injuries, especially in sports like girls soccer. Then we take a look at our UAW Chrysler Softball Player of the Year contest. Stick with us.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th, with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Swipe left. Swipe right.
What is going on over? Oh, why do you have my dog?
Is ordering Hungry Howie's online so easy? Even your couture canine can do it?
How many did Mr. Sparkles order?
7. And dog pizzas.
You ordered 49 pizzas?
No, you did. My card was declined. Want a slice? Or 400?
Hey, everyone gets a free medium pizza on their next online order with coupon code FREE1. Now that's an idea.
Hungry Howie's!
Welcome back to State Champs. This week we go in focus to a trend that is affecting many female athletes. ACL injuries are becoming more and more common, halting the careers of many athletes, especially young women.
So the prevalence is actually going up in all athletes. What we notice is in females, they're 4 to 6 times more likely than males to get injured. Females are becoming much more active in terms of basketball and soccer. And when you have a cutting or twisting sport, you see them jump, stop, and land, and they can get these types of injuries. So it is growing. There's no exact number, but it's much higher over the last 2 decades.
The recovery process is not all physical either.
Mentally, the athlete at times can have the feel that they may injure themselves when they go back to cutting and twisting. They have this fear that they're going to feel that pop again. It is pretty labor intensive to get back from an ACL. Rehab starts within a week after surgery. They're in rehab 2 to 3 times a week for the next 4 to 5 months. It requires them to get their motion back first, and then get some quad strength back, and then be able to rehab back in terms of cutting and twisting. It takes a long time, and you need the graft to heal as well. So it's a process. This isn't one of those things that you get back very quickly from.
Senior on the Livonia Franklin girls soccer team, Bella Yardley, is a prime example, being sidelined by an ACL tear for nearly 6 months.
Mentally, it was probably the hardest thing I've had to go through, and it took about 6 months after surgery, so it was long, and I had to sit through every practice and game with my team, so it was hard to watch.
Although the recovery process was challenging both mentally and physically, it really gave Bella a change of perspective.
When I tore it, I learned not to take the sport for granted and play every game like it's my last, because you never know when you'll be done. Stay strong because you're going to be back one day, and don't give up because you just have to keep pushing until you're back.
And the most important thing to remember, there are ways to help prevent these devastating injuries.
There is such a thing as ACL prevention, and people have to understand that. Coaches have to understand that there's a jump training program where we can train not only females but males on how to jump, stop, and land appropriately.
For In Focus, I'm Stephanie Funkhauser.
I'm Ryan Terpstra, and this is The Cycle. Start with baseball as Lake Orion went on the road to Rochester Hills Stony Creek in an OAA Red Conference matchup. Pick up this contest in the top of the third. Game is tied at 1. Lake Orion with a runner on third, and it's the junior Dylan Gibbons sending it to left center. That's going to score Miles Hardy, and the Dragons take a 2-1 lead. And they would add more a few batters later. With runners on the corners, it's the junior Mike Falter ripping it to left for the base knock. That's going to score Gibbons, and Lake Orion was ahead 3-1 after the top half of the third. But back comes Stony Creek in the bottom of the inning with runners in scoring position. It's Jordan Skidmore coming through with the base hit, bringing home Scott Reeder, and then a sliding Reed Herbstreit, and this game is tied at 3 after the third. Stony Creek would start to pull away in the fourth. It's Reeder with the base knocked through the hole, and the senior Josh Niedenhauser would come around to score, puts the Cougars up 4-3. Then later, Notre Dame recruit and one of our Baseball Player of the Year candidates, Eric Gilgenbach, sends it to deep right for the double. Reeder would come on down to score. And Rochester Hills Stony Creek goes on to beat Lake Orion. 9-5 is the final.
Let's go, boys. Everything counts up.
To Portage Northern we go, our preseason number 5 team in the state, hosting Battle Creek Lakeview. First inning, Lakeview loads up the bases against Northern. This is Travis Snyder, the catcher, ripping a single into right field to bring in Gavin Homer, part of a 3-hit day for Snyder. The next batter is Skylar Nichols. He rips one to center field. Tommy Henry is there to make the play, but Nick Jones able to tag up and score to give Lakeview a 2-0 lead. To the third inning, bases juiced again for the Spartans, and it's Jones at the dish. He finds the gap on the left side. 1 run will score. Homer charging for the plate, and he will score 2. Battle Creek Lakeview lays the hammer on Portage Northern. They get the victory 10-0 as part of a 2-game sweep. We'll finish things up on the softball diamond. Hudsonville facing Kennewa Hills. This game was a first varsity start for Aaliyah Talsma, and what a game she had. We'll show you more, but she starts out by striking out Kaylee Winsma to end the first inning for the Eagles. Bottom of the second inning, runner on third for Rachel Bergstis. She singles to left, and Hudsonville built a 7-0 lead. Bottom of the fourth, 2 runners on for Talsma, and the freshman gives it a ride over the fence for the 3-run home run. Talsma was locked in. In her first varsity start, she throws her first ever perfect game. Hudsonville downs Kenowa Hills 10-0 for a very impressive early season victory. For The Cycle, I'm Ryan Terpstra.
Staying on the diamond now, we're actually getting ready to introduce our first ever Female Player of the Year race, a race that you can get involved. It is our UAW Chrysler High School Softball Player of the Year race. This has not been easy. Tom Markowski is here to break it down. We've got our first top 10. Tom, tell them what it's all about.
Well, there's a lot of talent in this state, and we're going to start with some shortstops. Mackenzie Nemitz out of St. Clair Shores Lakeshore, just a tremendous fielder, really goes out and gets those fly balls in the short center field. She is signed with Michigan. Rachel Vieira out of Clarkston, tremendous hitter, only 5'4", had 6 home runs last year. And our best player is Alex Sobchak out of Farmington Hills Mercy, signed with Michigan, just a tremendous power hitter, had 17 home runs as a sophomore, only 9 last year. Coaches are getting wise, they're walking her.
No doubt about it. She is really a tremendous player, and you can vote right now by going to statechampsnetwork.com. Just click on the UAW Chrysler High School Softball Player of the Year race.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with us on State Champs. Coming up is our update on the Piranhas Lacrosse Player of the Year contest with Sean Belizean. But make sure to follow all of our promotions and contests on our website, statechampsnetwork.com, as well as all of our social media. Stay tuned.
At Lawrence Technological University, you'll go way beyond the books. Professors with real-world experience deliver hands-on instruction in small classes, helping students land co-ops, internships, and research projects. By graduation, 80% of LTU students have jobs or plans to pursue master's degrees. And most Lawrence Tech grads earn more than their peers. So if you're ready to embrace your possibilities, we want you at LTU.
We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table. When we sit down together, we share our expertise. You've got a legal problem, we know you need relief. Advice that you can trust, that's why people come to us. We're the Cronin Law Firm, bringing more to the table.
Hey, it's lacrosse season, and Piranhas is your lacrosse headquarters. Piranhas offers lacrosse equipment for boys and girls and has everything for beginners, advanced players, and your entire team. Come to Piranhas for the largest selection, their experienced, knowledgeable staff, and simply the best price guaranteed. Visit one of their convenient locations or log on to lacrosseworld.com and shop online. It's always lacrosse season at Piranhas.
Listen to what customers are saying about Hoot McInerney's all-new Star Lincoln.
I've never been treated better. Star eliminates all the hassles of leasing a new Lincoln.
I shopped around, and Star gave me the best price I found on a Lincoln MKC.
Now I understand what they're talking about when they say, experience the Star treatment.
Hoot McInerney's all-new Star Lincoln, 12-mile road just east of Telegraph. Best price, smart choice, and you get the Star treatment.
Lawrence Technological University takes pride in providing its students with state-of-the-art equipment and experiences beyond the classroom. As part of the new Taubman building, robotic students will be able to get one-of-a-kind experiences with brand new labs and equipment. The new Taubman complex at LTU will be opening in the fall of 2016, providing robotic students with everything they need.
It's still the same concept where it's a Tinker Lab concept. The students actually come into the lab. We don't use a lot of kits or pre-built robots for them, but they build everything from scratch. So they have the basic measurement equipment, they have personal CNC machines, 3D printers, and they can come in, do a CAD model of the robot and build their individual robots in the lab. So we really encourage them to build every component from scratch.
The importance of these labs, providing the practical component of LTU's outstanding education.
We don't only say theory practice, we actually implement it. So the point of all these labs is to provide students with the practical experience they need to really hit the road running. And we really pride ourselves on, even though there are other places right now offering this degree, I think we're still very unique in the fact that every single robotics class has a practical component.
And building everything from scratch has given robotics students applicable experiences for their future jobs and careers.
We've already had a lot of compliments from a lot of our students who are getting internships in different companies about the quality of work that they do.
To learn more about robotics at LTU and its state-of-the-art equipment, as well as all of the other amazing programs offered at Lawrence Tech, head to ltu.edu and schedule a visit today.
Hey, what's going on? It's time for the Piranhas Lacrosse Player of the Year. We're out here at the Livonia location, and we're happy to announce our initial 10 on our Player of the Year. As you can see, here are the names. Now, you can be a big part of this. We need your help. We need suggestions. We need you to vote, and that's where you come in. Certainly vote early, vote often, and as always, drop us a line if you feel that there's a player in the great game of lacrosse that we are missing. Now, one of the guys that we're going to look at here, and hockey fans will know this name, John Wagner was a member of the Cranbrook Championship team from the great sport of hockey. Well, he's going to be one of our top 10 on this list as well. Dynamic scorer. He's going to be one to keep an eye on. So go to the website. Make sure you get involved in this process as we give at the end of the year the Piranhas Lacrosse Player of the Year. All right, as I mentioned, we're out here at the Livonia Piranhas location, and we really appreciate Piranhas' help. Speaking of help, let's bring in my boy Lance. For all your lacrosse needs, make sure you get out to Piranhas. Livonia location is just fine today. Lance, you wanted to talk a little bit about stringing.
Yeah, we offer a ton of custom string. You can do different meshes, different sidewalls, anything you really need for all your custom stringing.
Well, great customer service here. You know that. And for all your lacrosse needs, come out here, check out Lance and the fine folks at Livonia Piranhas. Well, once again, we're doing the Player of the Year brought to you by our friends at Piranhas. Go to the website. Make sure you get involved. And for State Champs, I'm Sean Belegian.
Coming up next on State Champs, it's main event time. Presented by the Detroit Sports Commission, we head to the west side of the state this week. Forest Hills Central took on Forest Hills Northern and some boys lacrosse. Let's see how it all went down.
Fundraising should be fresh, flavorful, and simple. We have the perfect solution at Hungry Howie's, Dough Raiser. Your nonprofit organization can sell paper pizza certificates that your customers can redeem for one medium pizza at participating Hungry Howie's locations. Go to doughraiser.com to learn about, sign up for, and order everything Dough Raiser. Request a Dough Raiser kit for your group today. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Welcome to Hungry Howie's Dough Raiser.
I'm Drew Brees, and being a dad means the world to me. And one of the most important things any parent can do is make sure their kids get active at least 60 minutes each day. Studies show that physical activity not only helps kids stay healthy, it can enhance important skills like concentration and problem solving, which can improve academic performance. This means physical activity can help your kids in the most important game of all, life.
The Detroit Sports Commission Prep Kickoff Classic, presented by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, returns to the campus of Wayne State University August 27th through the 29th, with 3 days of action-packed games featuring the state's top teams and players. The Prep Kickoff Classic is brought to you by Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, the Marines, Community Bowling Centers, and Performance Orthopedics. Log on to DetroitSports.org for more information.
Welcome back to State Champs. I'm Ryan Terpstra here in Grand Rapids, where Forest Hills Central and Forest Hills Northern are only separated by a couple of miles, but this boys lacrosse rivalry gets bigger and better every season, and this week it is our main event. Forest Hills Central came in ranked number 2 in the state by LaxPower.com, and Northern checked in at number 15. First quarter action, Central with possession. Tanner Halleck circling around the back of the net, finds Luke Gaudette open on the weak side for the goal. Rangers built an early 4-goal advantage. Second quarter, Northern fighting to get back into it. Bobby Pelton with the spinorama, and the Marquette recruit is able to sneak it past the goalie and get the Huskies to within 2. First half winding down, Rangers running their offense. Patrick Lunt with it, finds Max Kuiper wide open on the doorstep, and he buries it. FHC went into the half up by 3.
Go, 0-0, go! Let's go, Rangers 3! 1, 2, 3, Rangers!
Third quarter, Rangers building on that lead, but Northern once again charges back. Peter Fisk receiving the ball, slashes, scores, somersaults, and puts the Huskies back to within striking distance. FHC needed a response, and they got it. The freshman, Clay Bryce, already with 4 points, breaks free, dishes it off to a streaking Kuiper, who nets the hat trick. Forest Hills Central with an important victory over their rival Forest Hills Northern. 10-5 is the final. All right, I am here with Max Kuiper, Forest Hills Central striker, who really had a nice game today. And Max, always a great game when you win, but especially when you beat a rival like Forest Hills Northern.
That's right, it is. It feels good. Feels real good.
What were you guys able to do? It's early in the season. It looked like you were really clicking, though, out there.
We just play really well as a team. Like, we have great team chemistry. We all get along really well, and we just play well together.
All right, well, congratulations on the win, and good luck the rest of this year.
Thank you so much.
The main event is presented by the Detroit Sports Commission, dedicated to enhancing the local economy and the image of Metro Detroit, hosting amateur sporting events. Go to DetroitSports.org for details. Thanks for joining us here on State Champs. And remember, we're the only show that's here all year long, but we want to hear from you too. Got a big game coming up. How about an interesting story idea on a player or a team? Send me an email, idea@statechampsnetwork.com. Who knows? You may see it come to life right here on State Champs. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. If you missed any of this program, check the Fox Sports Detroit Guide. There's a good chance this show will be re-airing very soon. Of course, statechampsnetwork.com has all the video, insight, and info on everything State Champs you need to know. We'll see you next week. State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Possible is everything. Hungry Howie's. Your next fundraiser comes with flavored crust. Go to DoughRaiser.com for details. The Detroit Sports Commission, where champions are made and championships are played. Log on to DetroitSports.org. Our friends with the UAW and Chrysler. Pirani's Hockey and Lacrosse World. Over 20 Michigan locations. Go to lacrosseworld.com for info.